on? Is it on? Oh, one. Okay, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Rizil back on the channel with another one, and today we're gonna be reacting to whatever clips YouTube channel. I believe whatever is a Red Pill podcast, um, and they're gonna be. It's titled Christian OnlyFans girl gets called out and in brackets triggered, and I already know how this situation is probably gonna go even without knowing it. Um, because of I know the contents of the red pill and everything they discuss, and this stuff it happens too frequently for it not to be a setup just for entertainment. Because I've had this, like, as soon as I discovered the red pill, I started having these conversations with like females around me, and I've had these experiences where they get triggered or called out, and it's always the same reaction, the same thing, the same, oh, don't judge me. They're probably gonna say, don't judge me, or whatever. And as I've grown and have progressed through, like, I think it's like a year now, in terms of these conversations, I've had less and less of those reactions because I found a way not to back down on myself, but to engage in it in a way that they listen to me more rather than just like start snapping. Oh, don't judge me. It's me against you. Blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm already calling whatever is gonna happen here, and let's see the contents of whatever they discussed. Christian OnlyFans girl. Okay.
Fresh's Toothbrush, thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate it. Women can like older men, but older men can't like younger women. Question mark. Men and women don't have anything in common. Ladies, LOL. Are y'all okay?
What?
When women are doing it for OnlyFans, they're not doing it for pleasure most of the time. They're doing it for money. So they don't do it because they like older men. They do it because they like older men's money.
If any young women are watching, please do not model your lifestyle after her. Thank you very much.
He's judgmental.
And that's from the Christian man.
Yes, I'm looking out for you young ladies. If you
I'm not judging you.
That's fine, but if you ever want to get married, there's a lot of young girls out there who want to get married someday. If pictures of yourself doing things are all over the internet, your husband and your kids will not appreciate that.
What are your kids going to think of this?
I think Northwest is doing just fine.
Northwest.
Yeah, she's living her life.
Kanye's.
Yeah, she's doing great with her mom.
I mean, given the option between a mom who has porn on the internet versus one who doesn't have on the internet, I would prefer if all of my friends couldn't see my mom fucking other dudes and sucking their dick.
I still consider myself a Christian. I still consider myself a Christian. I do.
What the hell is wrong with this generation? What is someone's a man's level of attractiveness? How does it influence the thoughts of a child seeing their parents like having sex or being penetrated repeatedly in a video? Like, do you think that if that happened to any of us, we're gonna be looking at like our moms, like whatever, like going through this and like being like, oh, but he looks like Brad Pitt, like, bro, fuck, man. Never mind.
And that just means that I
mean?
believe that Jesus died on the cross for my sins, and I'm not a fucking judgmental person like you. What gives you the right? You're not perfect. You should know better than anyone that we are sinners.
Okay, you're right.
We're not.
You're right.
I've called everything so far, right? Let me just further elaborate on like these type of situations and experiences, right? I've had these type of conversations, and usually like 90% of this time in terms of these conversations I've had earlier before I learned how to talk to these hoes. Like the ones that I've had these situations with, I don't have to, but I feel like I have to address them as that because they sort of shallow compared to the ones where it was easier to talk to them and like we found like new things and we learned new things in the conversation. Basically they like to bring up your religion and start saying, don't judge, Jesus said don't judge. I'm a Christian too. If Jesus died for your sins, don't judge. And these are people who usually don't really read the Bible like that. They don't really go into their faith like that. They say they pray every day probably, but they probably don't really, like, the prayers they do is not really like true and real. They don't really have a relationship or conversation with God. God is just a thing in their life that they just bring out whenever they want to make themselves feel good. Like one of those friends that you like, especially like women have in their lives, where like the simp friend that you bring out to make yourself feel good. and then you remove him when you feel good and go back to the stuff that you really care about. You know what I'm saying? And they don't understand that in those stories, when let's say Jesus said, "Don't cast the first stone. Whoever hasn't sinned, don't cast the first. Cast the first stone. Whoever hasn't sinned, cast the first stone." He doesn't realize Jesus wasn't saying that to say don't judge. He was saying that because he was giving the sinner an opportunity to change their ways despite their sins. And the woman that he saved at that point ended up changing her life and becoming one of the biggest supporters of Jesus' ministry, along with other women on earth at that time, until the day he died, and even after that. She didn't just stay the same. She was probably an OnlyFans girl from like the BC era or whatever, but she didn't stay the same. So this whole don't judge train, it's a bunch of nonsense because they don't change their ways. She's even saying, Jesus died for my sins, and she's probably gonna say it, but this is the way I live and all of that, and as long as Jesus died for my sins, okay. But they never know the truth. You can never. Fuck them if they ever bring this up with you. Fuck them, honestly. Like, for real, like, plain out, I put myself on one side and say fuck them if they ever bring this up with you, because they're not really serious about the contents of our religion. I think Christianity is so free and so, like, that people just take it for granted and just fling it around like, like it's nothing. Like, and they can just bring out all these anecdotes and say whatever they want, as opposed to some faiths like Islam or Hinduism or whatever, where you can't just add your own shit and say I'm living my life. You get cast out. Whereas Christianity, they don't cast you out. They keep you around and give you a chance. And that's why I think people take advantage. So, fuck you.
Right. And I know.
So get off your high horse.
I know I'm not perfect. Okay.
No, get off your high horse. What makes you think that you're better than everyone else? You are a sinner. You are recently born again. So then why are you judging other people? You can have your beliefs, but don't attack other people. It's fucked up.
Okay, this side of the table was saying that it's a great lifestyle decision. You said it's a great lifestyle decision at 18 to do that. I was encouraging young ladies.
Did I say that for everyone? Did I speak for everyone? I was speaking for myself.
Okay, there's impressionable young girls out there. Let me finish my point. I let her speak.
All right.
There's impressionable young girls out there that are watching this. Okay. There was a girl who was on this show that got into OnlyFans. Okay. She had a lot going for her. It's the kind of thing that a lot of women are going to regret when they're older. You might not. That's okay. Second, I don't think I'm better than you. I don't think I'm better than anybody. Okay, I'm a sinner that should be damned to hell, and Jesus rescued me from that, and I'm grateful for that. Okay, but if you want to talk about, I'm just as good of a Christian too. Jesus said, "If you truly love me, you will work to keep my commands." And he also said, go and sin no more, okay? And we're called to be models and examples for other people. We're called to model Christ. Do you think you're modeling Christ by doing OnlyFans?
I don't see it so black and white as you do.
How? He said.
I'm going to be the type of Christian that I want to be.
He said the kind that doesn't follow the Bible?
I mean, I'm sure that you're like following, like going against some of the rules.
I fuck up, and I
exactly. So don't speak on other people.
And I repent of it.
So do I repent. I pray every day. So you should pray and ask God to make you not so much of a judgmental asshole.
I'm simply saying young women shouldn't follow your example because they'll regret it.
Okay, well, young women should do whatever they want.
It's just a fact.
It's just your opinion. I think he should caveat it. I think he should add the caveat. Maybe like young girls who are looking for like a specific type of family life and future, like settling down arrangement.
Live your life and make fucking mistakes. And get married because I think that's hard. Being married is hard.
Guys.
Hold on a second.
Do whatever the fuck you want and be free. Once you're fucking married, you can be pious as shit, okay?
One microphone at a time.
I'm even getting bored by it because I'm literally like, this is the same thing over and over again. This is the same thing. It's the same type of argument. You guys are gonna have, if you've attempted this in real life to have these conversations with women, you're gonna have the same type of arguments. Trust me.
Let's imagine for a moment.
Look, I'm married, man. What do you think? Like, I'm the only one that's actually married here. Like, I like half the time when y'all have opinions about this, it's just so fucking laughable. Like, what the fuck?
All right, that's pretty rude, but hold on a second.
That's rude compared to what you've been saying.
Hold on.
I mean,
let's imagine.
Too.
Let me speak, please. Let's imagine your guys' kids are in middle school, okay? And your guys' kid's friend finds all of your pictures online and everybody starts sharing it in the classroom and they start teasing your kid and making fun of your kid. There's literally been kids that have killed themselves
and
because of this.
And then let's imagine that someone comes into the classroom and shoots the kid because that happens in this country every day all the time too. Let's talk about that.
Please let me finish my point, okay? There's kids that kill themselves over this, okay? Hold on. If you're...
Thank God an ad came on.
Check this out. Want a quick and easy way to make tons of pro-looking videos all by yourself? Look no further.
Now he's triggered.
If your kid... Yeah, I'm triggered. I'm triggered because
I'm actually a mom.
Control their
I'm
fucking
married.
tongue. Just please exercise some self-control.
Not even my husband can control his tongue.
Hold on,
Exercise some self-control, please.
Stop. Just let him finish, and then you can
Okay,
go.
whatever. He has a point.
But stop.
I'm
Just let him
trying
speak.
to. Just please let me.
You can respond, but just let him speak.
Yes. Sorry, Brian.
Okay, just...
If your kid is in middle school or whatever, and they're getting made fun of by all the other kids who found your pornography online, at that point in time, are you going to regret it? Or are you going to be like, no, I'm f***ing happy that I made that decision. My kid can go himself.
Why should the mother who is a consenting adult who chose to do OnlyFans be crucified for her adult decision? Shouldn't it be the kids who are bullying the child who led them to...
Fuck this shit. Bitch, if you're seeing this, listen, kids are gonna make fun of people anyway. We agree with that. Kids are like little human beings with less responsibility and less repercussions at their age. The ones who are lucky. Some or most of them who are lucky enough, they have less repercussions and more free range to do whatever the fuck they want and be the true assholes that human beings can be. But they're that in many form with less maturity, less empathy, and they get at you fast, basically. So me, I've been on the giving and the receiving end. You know what I'm saying? Mostly on the receiving end. And it hasn't been like continuous through my schooling career and all of that. But what I can say is that in terms of this situation, kids will pick on your kid anyway, yes. But like, okay, let's say for me, in terms of the stuff I was like made fun of, it was like my skin and my ethnicity, my, you know, where I'm from Kenya, but I was living in South Africa, etc., right? I can't change that. It's a part of me. It's not even a bad thing to be my color or where I'm from. But I can't change that. But in terms of their culture, how they've grown up, it's sort of like maybe unattractive or like it's I don't know. I don't really know. I've never really asked or had like a deep enough conversation going in that way with my friends of that race to find out. You know? But that's not exactly a bad thing or a thing I can change. Now, my mom having sex on camera is another thing. It didn't have to happen. It hasn't happened for me. Thank God. My mom is like super Christian. It hasn't happened for me. And thank God. You know what I'm saying? So it is an option to not do this messed up thing. You can still enjoy the pleasures. You can still have sex. Nobody saying don't have sex. People are just saying don't have sex on camera in case you have a child. Like, just don't do it. You know, there's enough things to make money off of nowadays than like doing these things on camera. Like, how is it enjoyable to do it on camera? Like, you fucking anyway. You're doing it in whatever position you want anyway, especially nowadays where it's just free range. Why do you need to put it on camera and then go have a child and then suddenly now, like, your kid is free range? Like, you know? Your kid is, like, duck season, bro. That's what basically people are trying to say. There's already shit that your kid might get picked on for and might have to fight against. Why do you need to add to the list? It's like someone like loading a mag before inserting it into a weapon, and you're like, oh no, wait. The kid is actually also kind of like has werewolf blood in him. So here's a silver bullet. Enjoy. And the person who handed the silver bullet is the mom. You follow my train of thought.
Admit.
Bro, no, I'm sorry.
avoiding responsibility.
So it's okay to bully
Completely
them.
avoiding responsibility. No, we're saying it's wrong to bully.
Then what the fuck?
You're completely avoiding responsibility.
I'm just saying it's
here.
a point about like selflessness. Like I'm like a young girl has the idea of like doing an OnlyFans, getting such easy money by taking one naked photo of myself cross my mind.
You'd make like $5.
Okay.
What? Wait, what?
Babe.
They're trying to make it into an insult, but literally she would get like $5. Like the porn industry isn't like the way it was before. It's an oversaturated market. Everyone is doing it. People are doing it in shacks, and like wherever they can, and they're getting pennies. You know, it takes a lot. It takes like a special thing, honestly, nowadays, especially in this porn industry, to get to a high level where you're earning like a lot of money. So it's not like actually an insult if they're trying to convert it into that. I bet you it's pretty much a struggle for her. That's why she's going to these extents, you know. But with how hard it is and like the negatives that it can bring, I still don't understand why they'd be cool with it, with all these negatives. You know what I'm saying? Like, women get money for far less. You know, life is hard, but women, especially nowadays, they get money for far less.
Agree to disagree on that one.
So incredibly rude.
I can't.
Nothing rude. She knows the industry.
I'm
That's
not
the
even.
truth, though.
I'm not even saying.
Let her talk.
I'm
Let her
sorry
talk.
I said easy money. I didn't mean that in a way as in like that OnlyFans is like an easy profession. I know sex work is hard work. But if I could, okay, but weren't you just saying like, yeah, it's better than McDonald's? I work a service job right now. Has the idea popped in my mind of like doing like sex work over my service job?
I hope not, because we're already oversaturated industry as it is.
Okay, so.
How are they laughing? I think they just like they've put themselves on one side because they're offended, and this person, you know, she's actually trying to, she's trying to talk reason to them, but they feel so offended that they're putting themselves on one side, that when someone tells the truth, immediately they latch onto it like, it's an insult. Oh, she got her. But it's true, bro. None of you are really gonna get paid like it was back in the day, bro. Like you're not even the top attractive. Now, this is not even an insult. Like how they're taking everything as an insult, but they're not even the top attractive women in the world right now. So it's gonna be even gonna be a struggle for them, honestly speaking. Because honestly speaking, even in terms of color, when you go on porn sites and all, come on, we've all had experience on porn sites. Let's be real. I'm Christian, and the most people that pop up in terms of the most popular people are not like people like, especially the girl in the middle, the mixed race, interracial, whatever girl. It's not even them that pop up first. It's like white girls like this with blonde hair. So white girls like this with blonde hair, or the girl that's sitting next to the mixed race girl, they're the ones who always pop up first, no matter your preference, you know. So like, why are you laughing? Like, you're laughing at her, but it's gonna be even more of a struggle for you because of racial issues. Like, she's gonna get more money than them if she starts doing porn. Like, for real, I'm not like being like, do it yourself. Whoever hasn't watched porn, go to Pornhub specifically and see who pops up first.
Good thing that it did pop in my mind, but I like will never do that route, and it's because it's a route of self. But I'm just trying to explain like a reason like why I wouldn't. I'm not shaming it. Like, go sex workers, like get your bag, okay? Like,
good for you though.
Be an independent, strong, independent woman. I'm just explaining why I wouldn't, and I'm glad I decided not to, and would recommend this to and would recommend just girls giving it a second chance, because, but at the end of it, I mean, it's not even, I don't even have to think that long term. I have a family I love. Is me getting $500 or whatever, $5,000 more a month worth like shame to my loved ones and family members? No, like I don't personally, like it's out of like not wanting to be selfish, that's where that comes from me from. If my, you know, my actions have consequences, and at the end of the day, I don't have to think long term about my future kids. What about my parents? What about like my siblings? I'm not gonna put them through that because I want to get $5,000 more. I can do more with my mind as well to make money that don't just involve like photos of my body. So I'm just gonna choose that route because I'm not hurting anyone. That like I could if I was like my family, if I was like doing stuff like that. But I'm like adding value to society. Not that sex work doesn't add value. That came across shady, but in ways that don't add harm to my close family members, which it would.
Listen, it's already over basically. what she said is true, but except for the part where sex work, it's not like sex work doesn't add value to society. That's debatable. Because sex work, one of the arguments I would have as to why it doesn't add value to society is because it offers easy access to quick release in terms of sexual tension, whether you're paying for it in the physical or in the digital, and it takes out the hard work you have to do in terms of even just talking to a girl. I know it can be hard with the rejection and everything. Shit, we all going through it. I'm going through it as a young man, but it takes out the lessons you can learn going through these things, and then leading up to your building your success rate as time goes. Because as time goes, you find your niche, you find your thing, and then you find which levels of women you find you have most success with in terms of interacting with them in a sexual way, and you basically build experience and build this particular skill set that helps you enjoy it in the physical world responsibly, without having to have the need for a quick release every single time. So that's where sex work sort of takes out the chase, basically. Even though I know politicians use sex work a lot too, but not just politicians, just rich and powerful people use sex work and all a lot too. But a lot of them, they're paying for maybe they're not paying for it directly. Maybe they're paying for it with I don't know, a lifestyle or experiences. They pay these people who do these sexual acts for them, but they're not paying as much as the man on the streets. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same thing. For them, it's nothing. And the person might do it for them anyway, just to be near them and get status. You know what I'm saying? It's not the regular man on the street type of thing. It's a whole conversation. I didn't expect to go this long off of an 8-minute clip, but fuck it. We are done. That was whatever clips Christian OnlyFans girl gets called out. And this has been me reliving these conversations I've had with some women since I found out about this Red Pill stuff, courtesy of my first clip of Kevin Samuels, RIP Kevin Samuels. You truly added value to this world, and we're sorry you're gone. And you guys take care of yourselves and truly think about what you're doing. Have a good life, guys.
Finna pull up in a beast. Yeah, physique is a tease. Fuck it, they all want a piece of me, a slice of the monster. Damn it, he sold his soul for gold, but why did it cost her? Toss up a stack for the posture, swallow a pill for the nausea, roll up a pill on a saucer. Damn it, we wanna see sauces. Tell him to load up the choppers, tell him to load up the launches. Damn, it's a hell of a morning. I pull the shit out the holster.